Okay, Yew Ten, welcome to your video tutorial. Today we are going to use SOHCAHTOA to find the length of unknown sides. So in any right angled triangle, when given one of the acute angles and a side length, we can use SOHCAHTOA to find the lengths of the other two sides. Okay, so it says, find the value of the unknown length x in this triangle, round your answer to 2 decimal places. First thing that we need to do is label the sides that we have. We have the, oh, why is my pen not working? There we are. We have the hypotenuse. Okay, here's my angle, so that's going to be, there's the right angle. That's going to be the hypotenuse, and this is going to be the angle opposite. Okay, so I have the opposite and the hypotenuse. They're the two sides that are indicated, and I'm having to find the opposite. Okay, so I put SOHCAHTOA at the top of my page. If I have the opposite and the hypotenuse, the ratio that I'm going to use opposite on hypotenuse is going to be sine. Okay, so the sine of, how many degrees do I have? What's my angle? Well, my angle's 30. So sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. And it's going to be the sine, and instead of theta I get given an angle, so the sine of 30 degrees is something divided by 2. This is an equation, guys. The aim of equations is to find out the unknown value. The unknown value is x. How do I go about finding the unknown value? Well, I take things away from it on the side that it's on. It's on the right hand side. There's only one thing next to it. It's a divided by 2. In order to get rid of something, I have to do the opposite. If I divide by 2, I'll need to times this side by 2. And if I times that side by 2, that cancels out. What I do to this side, I have to do the same to this side. So sine 30 times 2. I get my calculator out, okay? And I type in sine 30, okay, times by 2. Okay, and I'll get an answer of 1. So therefore x must equal 1. That's it. Let's look at the next example. First thing I do, I label what I have. There's my right angle, so this must be the hypotenuse. There's the angle that I get given, so that must be the adjacent. SOHCAHTOA. I have the hypotenuse and the adjacent. I'm going to use cosine. Cosine of my angle, which I represent with the Greek symbol theta, equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, because remember there's a division in here on all of these. Adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So the cos of how many degrees? 25 degrees. I get given the angle is going to be the adjacent is something I don't know over 5. Same principle. My aim is to find out x. The only thing that's on the same side as x is 5. It's a divided by 5. So if I times by 5, that cancels out. What I do to that side, I have to do the same to the other side. So I type in I hit the cos button on my calculator, and I type in 25, and I hit times by 5. I get an answer of 4.5315, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it says round to 2 decimal places. So x, my adjacent side, is going to be 4.53 because I looked to the place next to that 3 and it was a 1, so that stays the same. Okay, if we have a look at this one here, okay, here's my angle, 60 degrees here. So this is going to be the adjacent, this is going to be the opposite. So, oops, I wrote that funny. SOHCAHTOA. I'm going to be using my tan ratio because it has the opposite and the adjacent. So my formula would look like this. The tan of whatever angle I'm doing is the opposite over the adjacent. Now let's have a look at my angle. My angle is the tan of 60 is going to be equal to the opposite over the adjacent. X is 3. Okay. To get rid of that 3 on that side, I'll times that whole side by 3, so that cancels out. If I times that side by 3, I need to times this side by 3. Okay, tan 60 times by 3 is going to give me 5.1961. Okay, blah, blah, blah. 2 decimal places. 1, 2. I look to the point next to it, it's a 6, which means this 9 has to go up. 1 more than 9 is 10, which means that the 1's going to get affected as well. So it becomes 5.20 because that 9 goes up to 10, and so I have to add 1 to the decimal place beforehand. And that's it, guys. That's finding unknown sides using SOHCAHTOA.